Did you know that when an animal gets trapped in ice, its body can remain intact for thousands or millions of years, like nature's ultimate save this command? Scientists have unearthed prehistoric mammoths, woolly rhinos, and even ancient humans, so well preserved you'd swear they were about to blink. But here's where it turns downright unnerving. Some frozen discoveries don't just reveal the past, they throw curveballs we never saw coming. Beasts that defy logic, find that punch holes in evolution, and mysteries so freakish they'd make Katy Perry sprint like Noah Lyles. So, let's tear into this ice-cold horror reel and meet the 15 most terrifying creatures ever found frozen in ice. Number 6 will seriously mess with your head. Number 15. The ancient steppe bison. Back in 2011, a discovery in northern Siberia flipped the science world on its frozen head, a 9,000-year-old steppe bison. Not just fossilized bones, but a full-on Ice Age beast with its heart, brain, and digestive system still chilling inside. Blood vessels, tissues, and even some organs were still there, shrunken but intact. Scientists weren't just shocked, they were intrigued. Could this thing actually be cloned? That question's not just some late-night Reddit theory. In 2022, another steppe bison, about 8,000 years old, was found with DNA so fresh it's basically nature's backup file. Researchers in Russia and Japan are now looking into ways to study or possibly revive this long-lost beast. The bison, known scientifically as Bison priscus, once ruled the mammoth steppe. Now its frozen body is helping researchers understand Ice Age ecosystems, maybe even rebuild them. We're not just poking around in the past anymore. With finds like these, we're towing the edge of resurrection science. Number 14. Sasha, the woolly rhino baby. Sasha wasn't just any Ice Age rhino. She was the very first baby woolly rhino ever discovered, and her frozen body is basically a gift straight from the Siberian tundra. Found in 2014, Sasha is about 10,000 years old and so well preserved that her skin, fur, and muscle tissue are still intact. We still don't know if Sasha was male or female, but judging by her horn size, she'd already been weaned when she died. That means she had survived the most fragile part of babyhood in a landscape that stretched from Spain to Siberia. It was known as the Mammoth Steppe, but Sasha proves rhinos had just as much Ice Age swagger. Her death is still a mystery, but her preservation gives scientists a rare first-hand look at what life and death looked like in a world where even the weather could kill you. Mammoths may get all the press, but Sasha's frozen form proves the woolly rhino deserves a spotlight of its own. Number 13. The mammoth calves. Luba and Chroma aren't just names, they're time capsules. These two baby mammoths, each over 40,000 years old, were found in Siberia in separate digs, but share the same tragic fate, death by mud. Both calves were perfectly healthy when they got trapped in waterlogged terrain, inhaling mud and choking before they could escape. Sounds grim, but that moment of sudden death became their ticket to immortality. Their tiny bodies were preserved so well that skin, hair, and even fat layers remained. Luba's body became one of the most complete mammoth specimens ever studied. Chroma took things to the next level. Scientists found undigested breast milk in her stomach, still white and curdled like ancient yogurt. These weren't just fossils, they were preserved babies, frozen mid-childhood. The detail was so stunning that researchers have used their DNA in current de-extinction projects. Yes, bringing mammoths back is now a lab discussion, not a movie plot, and these two are at the center of it. Number 12. The cave lion cub, Sparta. Imagine finding an Ice Age predator so intact you can still count its whiskers. That's Sparta, a 28,000-year-old cave lion cub found in Siberia's frozen wilderness in 2017. She's not a fossil or just a pile of fur. She's a prehistoric apex predator practically frozen mid-pounce. Her fur, organs, teeth, skin, it's all still there, preserved like she was cryogenically sealed yesterday. Scientists were stunned at how immaculate her body was, and even more surprised when they found Boris, another cub, nearby. But Sparta's condition, next level. Researchers think she died suddenly, maybe in a mudslide, buried so fast that time never got a chance to do its damage. Cave lions once dominated Ice Age Eurasia, but their history is still hazy. Thanks to Sparta, we now have genetic clues that could fill in those ancient gaps or even help recreate the species. And let's face it, if anyone's gonna reboot Ice Age lions, it's the DNA wizards in the lab coats. Number 11. The frozen foal. A 40,000-year-old horse stuck in time like a bookmark from the Ice Age. This is the frozen foal scientists pulled out of Siberia's Betagake crater. Not a skeleton, not a dusty skull. An actual foal with hair, skin, hooves, and internal organs fully intact. That alone is mind-blowing. But here's the twist. Scientists were able to extract liquid blood from its veins. Actual ancient blood. After tens of thousands of years sealed in permafrost. This isn't just a glimpse into extinct horse species, it's a front-row seat. The foal belonged to an extinct species of Lenskaya horse, which once roamed the steppe alongside mammoths and cave lions. Its DNA is so well preserved that cloning is more than just a what-if. With major efforts already underway to revive mammoths and bison, this foal might be next on the list. If science gets bold enough, we could be staring at a living, breathing Ice Age zoo in the near future, and this little horse might lead the charge. Number 10. Dinosaur bones. Antarctica doesn't exactly scream dinosaur central, but go back 100 million years and it was a lush green landscape bursting with prehistoric life. When it was still part of the supercontinent Gondwana, this frozen giant looked more like New Zealand than Hoth. That's why in 1986, when Eduardo Olivero and Roberto Scasso uncovered fossils from an armored ankylosaur now known as Antarctopelta oliveroi, it flipped the script on what we thought we knew. More species followed. Trinosaura, Glacialosaurus, and the wild-looking Cryolophosaurus, known for its ridiculous head crest that looked like something from a punk band. These dinosaurs weren't wading through snow, they thrived in a temperate world that only froze over about 25 million years ago. And here's the update. Recent digs in James Ross Island and Mount Kirkpatrick continue to unearth new specimens, proving Antarctica is still a hidden prehistoric vault. These ancient bones are more than fossils. They're reminders that Earth's climate was once so different, it let giants walk where ice now reigns. Number 9. The prehistoric bear. It's not every day a bear straight out of the Bronze Age shows up frozen in mint condition. But that's exactly what happened in 2020 when Siberian reindeer herders stumbled upon a furry corpse poking out of the permafrost. At first glance, it looked like a cave bear, the kind that vanished 22,000 years ago. But by 2022, genetic testing flipped the narrative. This wasn't some ancient megabeast. It was a 3,460-year-old brown bear. Still prehistoric, still jaw-droppingly preserved, but younger and stranger than expected. The bear was only about 2 or 3 years old when it died, yet its fur, teeth, soft tissues, and even stomach contents are all intact. Basically, it's like someone hit pause on its body mid-roam. Researchers now have access to its blood vessels, brain matter, and organ structures, making it a one-of-a-kind time capsule. It's the clearest view we've ever had into bear evolution, behavior, and Ice Age survival. Even mummified, this bear is still teaching us something new. Number 8. The mummified mammoth. In 2022, Canadian miners weren't expecting to find a prehistoric miracle, but that's what they got. While digging through the Klondike goldfields in Yukon, they uncovered something jaw-dropping, a fully mummified baby woolly mammoth, frozen solid for 30,000 years. Her name? Nuncho Ga, meaning big baby animal in the hen language, and she lives up to it. Measuring about 4.5 feet long, her body is so well preserved you can still see her eyelashes, skin folds, and tiny wrinkled trunk. It's rare to find anything this ancient-looking, this fresh. Nuncho Ga is officially the most complete mummified mammoth ever found in North America, and one of the best anywhere, period. Her discovery sent shockwaves through the scientific community and reignited debates around de-extinction. With viable mammoth DNA stacking up, researchers are inching closer to bringing these Ice Age giants back, starting with embryos and hybrid elephants. Jurassic Park might still be fiction, but with mammoths like Nuncho Ga, the fiction's melting into fact. Number 7. The preserved wolf pup. In the heart of the Yukon, 2016 delivered one of the most unexpectedly emotional discoveries of the Ice Age, a tiny gray wolf pup, perfectly frozen in permafrost for 57,000 years. Named Zur, which means wolf in the hen language, she was just 7 weeks old when her short life ended. But her body tells an entire story. From her fur and teeth down to her paw pads, everything remained intact, so intact, researchers could study her as if she'd only passed a week ago. No visible injuries, no signs of violence. X-rays suggest her den may have collapsed, sealing her in a frozen tomb before time could touch her. Zur is now the most complete Ice Age wolf ever recovered, offering priceless insight into early canines. What she ate, how she grew, how wolves evolved, it's all there, locked inside this pup. And beyond the science, there's something heartbreakingly human about her. Just a baby, alone and frozen in time, now giving life to ancient history. Number 6. Zug the Caveman. You're wandering through a park in Minneapolis when something catches your eye, a block of ice. But not just any block. Inside it, a caveman stares right at you, mouth slightly open, as if he was frozen mid-thought. Meet Zug Zug. In 2021, artist Zach Schumack and the creative crew at Hunt Adkins dropped this lifelike Neanderthal in Theodore Wirth Park as part of a surprise public art project. The goal? Snap people out of their scrolling days and force them to interact with the weirdness of the real world. And it worked. Photos went viral, people freaked out, and yes, local authorities got a few phone calls. But the story didn't end there. Somewhere else in the city was his counterpart, Zara, the mother huntress. The vibe? Ice Age love story meets urban Easter egg hunt. And in case the name sounds familiar, Zug Zug is a nod to the 1981 cult comedy Caveman. In short, this wasn't history. It was brilliant performance art hiding in plain sight. Number 5. The prehistoric penguin colony. Penguins waddling through snow is normal, but penguins discovered as mummified corpses, that's where it gets eerie. In 2016, scientists at Cape Rezar, Antarctica, stumbled across what looked like a fresh Adelie penguin colony, bones, eggshells, and even intact mummified bodies. But there hadn't been any penguins living in that area for hundreds of years. These birds, scientifically known as Pygoscelis edelia, had been perfectly preserved beneath layers of Antarctic ice for up to 5,000 years. Melting due to recent climate shifts exposed their frozen graveyard. The preservation was so pristine, researchers at first thought the colony had been abandoned just recently. Carbon dating quickly corrected that theory. What wiped them out remains unknown, but their sudden death was clearly fast and total, the creepiest part. If one thaw reveals a graveyard of penguins, it begs the question how many more forgotten species, bodies, and ancient secrets are quietly waiting beneath Antarctica's melting ice sheets. Number 4. The hibernating squirrel. A 30,000-year-old squirrel still curled up like it's mid-nap sounds like something pulled from an animation cell. But in the frozen Yukon wilderness, that's exactly what researchers found, a mummified Arctic ground squirrel, preserved in its classic hibernation position. It looked like nothing more than a fuzzy lump at first glance. But a CT scan revealed this was no ordinary fuzzball, it was a perfectly intact Ice Age survivor. And here's where it gets oddly poetic, the same species still exists today. That means this frozen relic's modern cousins are still doing the same exact thing, curling up underground to ride out brutal winters. It's one of the best preserved Ice Age rodents ever found, and it's helping scientists understand how small mammals adapted to extreme cold long before North Face existed. This little survivor, frozen in the fetal position for tens of millennia, is a testament to just how long nature's game of endurance has been playing out in the frostbitten north. Number 3. The Minnesota Iceman. Not all frozen mysteries come from the ancient past. Some are just wrapped in sideshow weirdness, and the Minnesota Iceman tops that list. Back in the 1960s and 70s, a traveling exhibit toured county fairs across North America, showcasing a hairy humanoid frozen in a block of ice. The creature looked like a cross between Bigfoot and a Neanderthal, slumped, injured, and disturbingly lifelike. Frank Hansen, the man who managed it, claimed he was just the caretaker, working on behalf of a secretive millionaire. Some whispered it was James Stewart. His origin stories changed constantly: Siberia, a whaling ship, even Hong Kong. In 1968, cryptozoologists Bernard Heuvelmans and Ivan Sanderson were convinced it was the real deal. But when the Smithsonian showed interest, the original disappeared, replaced by a rubber replica. Hoax? Possibly. But some still believe Hansen swapped the real one to keep it hidden. Decades later, the Iceman remains a bizarre cultural legend, part science, part scam, and 100% unforgettable. Number 2. Ancient viruses. In 2015, a team of researchers from Ohio State University climbed to the icy summit of the Gulea ice cap, 22,000 feet up on the Tibetan Plateau. They were chasing ancient climate data, but what they found was something far more unsettling. Deep inside a 1,000-foot ice core, they discovered frozen viruses, some of which had been trapped for 15,000 years. 33 viral genomes were identified, and 28 of them were entirely new to science. These weren't just microbial fossils, they were preserved so well that their genetic material could still be analyzed. Thankfully, none appeared harmful to humans. But that doesn't mean others aren't. With glaciers melting at record rates due to climate change, researchers are sounding the alarm. Ice is more than just water, it's a biological vault. And as it thaws, it could unlock pathogens our immune systems have never seen. This isn't science fiction, it's already happening. Ancient viruses are real, and the next one could be thawing right now. Number 1. Millions of grasshoppers. Tucked away in Montana's Beartooth Mountains is one of the weirdest glaciers on Earth, Grasshopper Glacier. Its name isn't a metaphor. It literally holds the frozen remains of tens of millions of grasshoppers trapped in ice. Scientists believe these swarms were caught mid-flight by sudden blizzards and slammed into the glacier, freezing on impact. Some species found here, like the extinct Rocky Mountain locust, haven't been seen in over a century. This glacial graveyard sits in a remote corner of Custer National Forest, 11,000 feet above sea level, and wasn't even discovered until the early 1900s. Since then, climate change has caused it to melt rapidly, and the once entombed insects are now rotting away. What was once a window into ancient ecology is now a race against time. As the glacier continues to recede, we're losing not just ice, but records of entire insect populations that once shaped ecosystems. Grasshopper Glacier isn't just bizarre, it's an ecological time bomb slowly unraveling under the sun. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.